My next question is that, in your 2018 Foreign Affairs article, Life in China's Asia, you mentioned about Beijing's ambition to create a Chinese-dominated East Asian community. Looking back, it seems like your prediction was spot on. And so under the current situation in Indo-Pacific region, and what advice would you give to the U.S. and Taiwan and also other like-minded countries to better maintain peace and stability in the region?
Well, thank you for reading my article. I'm delighted that it found its way to your desk and that it had an impact on your thinking. I appreciate it. I argued in the article that as China becomes more powerful, it's likely to seek to dominate its region, and that this is very common behavior among great powers, is to try to become the most powerful country in their region. And I compared the cases of Japan and its attempt to create a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere. I looked at the United States in the Western Hemisphere. I looked at the Soviet Union in Europe, and then, of course, China during its previous era of regional hegemony. And so basically looked at what are the various tools that great powers use to try and create that situation for themselves. The article was published 6 years ago. Seems like a long time. And since then, we had the really profound interruption of COVID-19, which obviously set back China's economy and diplomatic and economic engagement with the region and with the world. But still, we've seen China's emerging economic centrality in the region. Yeah. And as you say, I think we are seeing China's attempt to create regional hegemony in the political and military spheres. The growth of China's power in the region, the growth of Chinese influence, and particularly military power, is putting serious strain on the prevailing order, namely the hub and spoke system of U.S. security alliances, and then also, the broader, what the Japanese call the free and open Indo-Pacific. And what seems to be taking shape in response to this is not an anti-China alliance. People have talked about, should there be an Asian NATO, for example? And that's definitely not what we're seeing. But rather we're seeing taking shape a system of minilateral relationships, minilateral arrangements that are growing up in addition to and kind of around the traditional U.S. security alliances. These would include AUKUS, for example, and the Quad. And just recently, we saw this further taking shape with the trilateral summit in Washington, D.C. with Japan and the Philippines. So the minilateral trend seems to be the United States and its partners' answer to the growth of Chinese power and China's attempt at regional hegemony. And given the many different security priorities among East Asian countries, given the vast geography, I think these minilateral arrangements strike me as a sensible course. They take into account, again, the extreme heterogeneity among countries in the region in terms of the threats that they perceive and the interests that they perceive. And those arrangements can be focused around specific issues and capability building. So that's the trend that I see, and I think it's a useful one.
Yeah, thank you indeed. And I think you also highlight the importance of collective efforts for all the countries, to maintain the status quo and the peace and the stability in the region. Yeah,